Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Dhammayang Bhagavantam Sadhammang Sasanghang Imehi Sakkavehi Yata Hari Pujayama Sadhuna Bhamte Bhagava Suparinimtopi Manasa Ime Sakkavedum Gatapanakar Ute Patinganatu Amhakam Dikaratam Hitaya Sukhaya Samma Sambuddha Bhagava Buddhang Bhagavantang Abhivademi Bhagavata Dhammam Dhammam Namasami Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Sangham Namami Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. They didn't have a chance to. Since it's before the Sangha Kama, can the visiting seminary also come in for paying respects? Yes. Not yet. That's a seminary. Press it until it goes green.
Namo Buddhaya, Namo Ratanataya. Warm greetings to everyone. Blessings of the Noble Triple Gem. And thank you very much for being here today on this auspicious day. It is the September full moon day, which is known as the Potapada, Punami or Punima, full moon in Pali, Bhadrapada in Sanskrit. And in the Sinhalese Buddhist traditions, then this is the, what is it called? Binara Poya. Poya is short for, Sinhalese short for Uposatha. And then Binara is the name of this month, just like Bhadrapada or Potapada are the name of this month that we call September. And in the Sinhalese Buddhist traditions from Sri Lanka, it's been passed down to us that this September full moon, the Binara Poya, that this was the time of the establishment of the Bhikkhuni Sangha in the Buddha's lifetime. So this is the lunar anniversary. And, you know, the scholars debate about what year the Buddha may have lived. And I don't mean to contribute anything to that scholarly debate at this time, but just to say, according to classical Theravada Buddhist counting, this would be the 2606th anniversary of the founding of the Buddha's Bhikkhuni Sangha and the fulfillment of the Buddha's founding intention to have a fourfold community or manifold community, including the monastics and householder disciples of both genders. And so this is a very special day for us to remember, and because of the specialness of this day, then we chose this day for some special events here at the Dhammadharini Sonoma-Giri, which means Sonoma Mountain. Sonoma Mountain is just over here, long, broad mountain behind the trees there. Bhikkhuni Arama, which we call Dhammadharini Monastery here in Pengrove in the San Francisco North Bay. And we had originally thought that we would just have the Bhikkhuni ordination at this time, because we have one and then two excellent candidates who have been training as anagarikas or donchi, and then as seminary for 2 years or even more than 2 years, one candidate up to 5 years training. They've been training and preparing themselves, and then we want to gather the Bhikkhuni Sangha together to be able to offer them upasampada, full acceptance, full ordination or higher ordination into the dual bhikkhu, bhikkhuni Sangha in Theravada Buddhist tradition. And so I'm very happy we planned for our bhikkhunis from Dhammadharini Monastery observing the Vasa here. Also those with Dhammadharini at Aranya Bodhi, Awakening Forest Hermitage on the Sonoma Coast. I came from there this morning. And then also we wanted to invite our venerable bhikkhuni sisters, our venerable bhikkhuni, let's see, siblings, kin from the Aloka Vihara Forest Monastery in the Sierra Nevadas. Actually, we had hoped for all 4 of the bhikkhunis there to come today. And because of there being a fire not far away in the Sierras, mosquito fire that's been expanding and spreading, then 2 of the bhikkhunis have stayed behind to look out for things. Aya Ananda Bodhi, Aya Santachita, we miss you. I hope you're able to see this online at this time. All of us send our greetings to you. But gladly, Aya Nyanika and Aya Ahimsa were able to come today, and due to our delays, able to arrive just in time to be able to join us for what we hope will be the inauguration and establishment of a small Sima or Baddha Sima here on this property, especially for the sake of being able to have Sangha Kama in this small space. We thought we wanted to do this actually because of these last years of COVID. When there's the big Sima, then the Sangha should gather together very closely in 4 arms length, Hatapasa, whenever they have Sangha Kama, but gathering together from different places. It's been our aspiration for the last couple of years to be able to gather and have the Sangha be in this space, just the Sangha, just Bhikkhu Sangha, just Bhikkhuni Sangha in this space. And so then don't have to sit so close together if it's only the Bhikkhuni Sangha or only the Bhikkhu Sangha, and to be comfortable and not to put anyone we chant, we recite, may no harm come to you, may no danger come to you, may we be well. And so we don't want to only just recite that, we want it to go to our hearts, deeply in our hearts and minds, and then also pervasively into our actions, into informing our actions, that our actions may be as wise and kind as possible. So this really is this building being here, and then the space around it, which just before this time has been made like very strong and level and firm. All this is a great act of kindness from many of our community members as a gift to not only our monastic community, but to our broader community. So also it's possible to be able to walk around without stepping into the gopher or ground squirrel hole. Or without the chair falling down into the hole sitting around. And so a lot of work has been done here in these last few days together. Even I saw the picture of our most senior bhikkhunis here at the monastery with shovel in their hand and the big pile of rock spreading out the decomposed granite yesterday. And so sadhu, sadhu, sadhu to everyone who has contributed their love and kindness and care and their efforts in so many ways that we're able to come into this space like this now. Now with our Aloka Vihara venerables gathered here, and then also I want to recognize that our Aya Metta Jivi, Venerable Bhikkhuni Metta Jivi, she's American citizen of Cambodian heritage, born in the Kambuja Krom area that's now South Vietnam. So Cambodian Khmer heritage, and the first in contemporary times of Cambodian heritage to go for Bhikkhuni ordination in 2018 in Sri Lanka. also our second Cambodian bhikkhuni, also American citizen and lived in the US for a long time, a Cambodian Khmer heritage, ordained just last year in the year 2021. Then also she's traveled, I didn't tell you, Ayameta Jivi traveled to us together with Seminary Jutindra. They traveled from Cambodia and Thailand, where they're observing the Vasa, to be able to join together for this very special occasion here. So this is really rigorous parami kind of effort to put forth with love and care and dedication for our communities and for the Buddha Sasana. So Aya Sadha, Venerable Bhikkhuni Sadha, ordained last year in North Carolina, and one of the first group of Cambodian women to undertake seminary pabaja here in the United States or anywhere in this century or centuries, I think. Then also back in the time of 2600 Buddha Jayanti, so glad to have her here together. And then one special reason they're here is for all of us. Really, it's for all of us and for the whole Buddha Sasana, but also especially because one of the aspirants to ordination for the Bhikkhuni Uttapana Upasampada that we have planned tomorrow, Bhikkhuni higher ordination, one of the aspirants is also a Canadian citizen of Cambodian heritage, born in Cambodia in Phnom Penh, and now a seminary for 5 years. And she's been visiting us in the past years. And also we traveled together on pilgrimage in Cambodia together. And then she's come here to be training sincerely with our Bhikkhuni Sangha this year during the Vasa, together with our longtime co-resident, also seminary Dhammawada. So our two aspirants for the Bhikkhuni higher ordination tomorrow. So to do the higher ordination in the way that we aspired, then we have our task for today, for which we're gathered here together. And that is to be inaugurating this small Sima here, the Baddha Sima, as I explained and described. This is something that can be done. Inaugurating a Sima can be done by a Bhikkhu Sangha, and inaugurating a Sima can be done by a Bhikkhuni Sangha. And we have a Bhikkhuni Sangha gathered here, and the Bhikkhunis who've come from afar. Now, I didn't see them for a while, except for online sometimes. And now they gathered here, unfortunately arrived at this time. I understand they want to share greetings and to pay their respects. And so I want to offer them this opportunity to do that. And then I'll explain a little bit more after that what our Bhikkhuni Sangha is going to be doing next for the sake of inaugurating and establishing the Sima. Absolutely. Wait just a moment. I just want to share a blessing. And then I just want to ask Seminary Tavira to just remind me, this is the for our Vasa this year dedicated to stopping the war. Then this is a special verse that we've been reciting and meditating upon. And in fact, it's planned to be inscribed upon the entry stone to this Sima area here. And I'm just going to recite that verse now by way of blessings. Any Sangha members who know it are welcome to join me in chanting this in Pali and to join me in blessing our dear venerables who have come from afar to join us. Also, if you know the English, because I'll chant the Pali and the English, then you're welcome to join in whichever part that you know. And if you don't know it, just pervade your hearts of loving kindness to bless our venerables who have come, all our venerables who have come from afar to join us together today. That's the first word. It's not like a word that I think of quickly. So now welcome to join me in blessings. Dosa king pana metaheya nipapenti naruttamha moha king pana panyaheya yayang nipetakamini. Applying loving kindness, the exalted among humankind, extinguish the fires of hatred. Applying wise discernment, they go on to penetrate the truths and extinguish the fires of delusion. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Yang kinchiri tangi devahurangva sage siva yang ratanang bhavita.
So our seminaries and Anagarika now have the opportunity to also pay their respects to the assembled Venerable Bhikkhuni Sangha. Please don't crowd too close. Allow yourself some space. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Now I would like to invite the Venerable Bhikkhuni Sangha to remain here in the Sala Pavilion together. And in a moment, we're going to have some consultation together about what has been proposed for the inauguration or establishment of the Sima. First, I'd just like to invite Ayasobhana if she would like to mention something briefly about the establishment of this sala and then also about the Sima stones and their offering, and also the offering of the Sima court or patio area made of the decomposed granite. She'd like to mention something about that. And as many of you know, and some of you might not know, the reason that I'm asking her to do that is because she was appointed by our Bhikkhunis community to lead up in preparing and offering this sala and this sima here. So this is a charge that she received from the Bhikkhuni Sangha, which she has been working hard and faithfully over the last several years, in fact, and also intensively in the last couple of weeks, in the last few days, even in the last 24 hours, to see that this comes to fulfillment and fruition together in this time. Venerable Bhikkhuni Sopanateri, our Dhammadharini Vice Abbess and Acharini.
Well, thank you, A. I hope that others can remember that we started more than 2 years ago with the dream of having an outdoor open-air pavilion as a pleasant space for practicing, meditating, and speaking about the Dhamma and worshiping the Triple Gem. Then there have been so many wonderful events. My mind goes into a little bit of a fog, but I know that more than 50 or possibly 100 different individuals had a part in the creation of the Dana Sala. Malai, who's here with the camera, and her mother were very important in creating these wonderful rupas here that were fabricated in Cambodia and imported to USA. They came on a boat. The boat took a long time over the ocean, and then they came to our monastery and found a temporary home in the garage. And for many months, they just rested quietly in their cartons and crates in the garage while the sala itself was completed. Then there came the time that we had to find a moving crew of many strong men who were willing to move these images carefully and lovingly. I've got the wonderful picture of 5 really big, good, strong, healthy men trying to move these statues and eventually giving up and deciding that they needed to go and get a large machine to do the job. So they used a machinery to lift it up and place it here on the table. Then since that time, we came to have the idea of creating a Sima here. I think Tataloka may speak about the Vinaya rule that we were following. But this Sima is a place where we can do Sangha kamas, or the formal acts of a Sangha. And we don't have to be within the Hatapasa, because in a few minutes, this space is going to be defined as a Sima for acts of the Sangha. Again, actually, it was Malai's mother who was here, had made the very generous offer of the Sima stones, and many months of incubation time.
Anumotana to Upasika Zapkan, mom of Dr. Malai Uch.
Thank you. Trying to figure out how to accomplish it. And finally, just within the past 1 month, many different factors came together to make it all possible. We found a wonderful company nearby that has all different kinds of rocks from all over the world, and found some beautiful stones that seem to fit into our idea of the spirit of what we were trying to do. We had a concern at that time. The ground around here was so rocky and uneven that it was difficult to place a chair on the ground because there wasn't one place in the yard where you could put a chair and all four legs would touch without tipping over. It was a danger for the elders, and in particular, one of our most beloved elder friends, Diane, was kind of also a godmother of our activities. Diane is now at home and close to death. But before she died, she asked us to make a place that would be smooth and easy for elders to come with their walker or with their wheelchair to be able to come and worship. And so thank you, Diane, for giving us the idea. And then our new seminary.
Diane is still alive, so we want to send blessings to her. Many blessings to her. Dhamma Diane, Diane Sherman. Maybe even she's listening to us now, perhaps. Many blessings to her for the encouragement and inspiration to offer this for everyone, for accessibility.
We've had opportunities a couple of times already to visit Diane at her home where she's on her way out. She stopped eating and just taking little bits of water. She is full of joy, full of equanimity, completely ready, feeling that she's done what needed to be done, what you could do in this lifetime. And so it's really, this place has a kind of a connection with her. Now, Satima, I'm not remembering the name of your friend, but so Vishwa. So by another very lucky miracle, a generous donation was pledged to make it possible to implement this graveled patio, which is flat and smooth. And I have to give another special credit to yes, this process, decomposed granite, when the rain falls, it percolates through into the ground. And if impermanence happens and this changes and becomes something else, they just need to stir it up with a stick and it will naturally break apart and go back to nature. So it doesn't create many kinds of hazards. Yes. The man who's been doing the landscape and gardening work for us offered made a very generous offer to do the work. And he has single-handedly moved 4 tons of gravel and stone from 2 huge piles into this area and packed it down and watered it and set the stones. He was working day and night, late at night. Even last night, he slept over here in his car because he was not quite yet finished. And even this very morning, he was just finishing up the last bits of the work. So you might see him tomorrow. He's going to rest today after moving all that stone. But we have a lot of gratitude for Chuy having the heart. This is Jesus Contreras Gonzalez has done this work and helped us to pick up these stones and place these stones. So now it seems that we are ready to go ahead with considering the Sangha Kama for this Sima. Would you want to speak an explanation about that?
Thank you very much, Ayasopana, Venerable Bhikkhuni Sopana Teri, and Anumodhana Sadhu, Sadhu, Sadhu to all the donors and contributors who've expressed their hearts of generosity and words and actions in so many ways. And now all of those acts of generosity are coming together in these moments and in what we're able to do in these next steps now. So next I'm going to invite the Venerable Bhikkhuni Sangha to have a consultation about the proposal for establishing the Sima here. Like to be sure that all have especially their Bhikkhuni Patimokkha 4th edition, hopefully, and we'll have time to consult about it together. And once the Bhikkhuni Sangha gathered here is in agreement, then our plan will be that we'll invite the Venerable Bhikkhuni Sangha to come up and then to go around to point out the Sima Nimitta, which means in this case, the rocks. All of them weigh more than 7 pounds, which is the minimum required by Vinaya to serve as a Sima stone. They've all been buried now, like 2/3 down into the base and the decomposed granite to be sturdy. We thought about engraving them and to make plaques for them, and the plaques then will come later to see, say that it's the Sima stone, put the Dhamma wheel, and which direction. This is east, and then southeast, and going to then southwest, like this, and west. There's another larger stone behind the Buddha image, directly behind, and this one will have a very special dedication on it, which you can actually see in your program. The entryway stone will have a special dedication as well. The others will just bear the marks of the direction, and that they're the Dhammadharini Baddha. Baddha means it's for a small Sima. It means bound or like tied off. And so we'll be going around the circle to point out the Sima markers, the Sima Nimitta to the Sangha. And there's 2 circles, an outer circle and an inner circle. So first we're going to be going around, we propose to go around to the outer circle. And then if the Bhikkhuni Sangha is in agreement, then we have chosen our Venerable Sopana Teri to be our chief Kamawacha Charini for the Sangha Kama, with the assistance of Venerable Bhikkhuni Pramawada as the assistant Kamawacha Charini for the establishment of our Sima here, if the Sangha is agreeable to that. And after going around the outer circle, then we would go to the inner circle. And that outer circle will serve as the parameter for the inner parameter for a Sima that's already been established here. At the 4 corners of this big property called a Samana Sangvasa Sima, a boundary of shared communion, also Tichiwarena Vipawasa Sima, it's away from the 3 robes boundary. These are very traditional in Buddhism for Theravada Buddhist monasteries to have these kinds of Simas. And so the outer ring of stones will define the inner boundary of the big Sima. And then there will be something like a moat, which is then the Sima court or courtyard, where the decomposed granite has been placed inside, so we can practice walking meditation around there, or when we have the gatherings also, like tomorrow for the Bhikkhuni ordination, the Sangha will also be able to sit close, but only the concept for the Baddha Sima is that, especially for kindness and COVID safety, is that only the Bhikkhu Sangha or only the Bhikkhuni Sangha would be inside the Sima area itself, which means that when there are other people inside, novices or anagarikas or lay people, then those Sangha members have to be in Hatapasa. 4 arms length with one another means they have to be close together. But to gather Sangha members from various places, then it's good to be able to leave a little bit of space. And if it's only Sangha inside, then you can do that. They don't have to be then so close together inside. And the way this is arranged, then also seminaries, anagarikas, upasakas, upasikas, all friends are able to see, able to feel like a part together, even though not inside the small sima. So this is the concept. And now we would like to invite, then I may actually set the mic down for a little while, and we're going to have the private consultation just with the Bhikkhuni Sangha for maybe a short time, just to see and gain the agreement of the Sangha before we have the proposed Sangha Kama for establishing the Sima here. So I'd like to invite everyone who is here observing to radiate your metta and goodwill and good wishes to us, to our Honorable Bhikkhuni Sangha, who is gathered even from around the world now across the state on the other side of California, and then also world traveler, but here with us for the Vasa, and also coming from across the country, from North Carolina, also coming to us from northeastern Thailand. Gathered here all together, our international Bhikkhuni Sangha. Now, just share with you, considering the harmony of the Sangha, if you have a program that looks like this, and I'd like, as you think about metta and spread your goodwill to everyone who is here, I'd like to invite you also to contemplate the dedication verse for the stone, Sima stone, the Sima Nimitta that will sit directly behind the Buddha image. The stone is already installed there, but this is the dedication that will be engraved on the plaque on the stone. So if you have a program like this, just open to the very center of it. And in the center on the right side, then you can see the proposed name of the Sima, which is the Abulhasala Sima. And this means the thorn removed or the barb removed. And this is with regards to our own hearts and this path of practice and our special dedication for this 2022 Vasa, for all of our teachings and all of our practice and all those who are joining us in the practice, even from around the world during this time. If you look down, then the dedication of the Sima stone behind the Buddha. This is what I'd like to ask you to contemplate now. This is actually from the Mahapajapati Gautami Gatha. And it's part of a dialogue between Gautami and the Buddha himself. And Gautami, the Buddha had sneezed, and Gautami, Mahapajapati Gautami had then blessed the Buddha with long life, which is still a common blessing in Sri Lanka and in India, even when people sneeze. And then the Buddha had replied that he should not be blessed in that way. So Mahapajapati Gautami then said, then how is it suitable to bless a Buddha? And this is the Buddha's reply to her, is this samage sawake pasa etang buddhana vandanang. So this means seeing the Sangha in harmony, the samagi Sangha, Sangha samagi. Etang buddhana vandanang. Vandana is our veneration of the Buddha, our veneration of the Triple Gem. So the Buddha said that the Sangha in harmony, this is the great way to honor and to venerate the Buddha, better than wishing long life for this physical body of 5 aggregates. So this is what's meant to be inscribed on the stone, Sima stone directly behind the Buddha image here. So I'd like to ask you all to contemplate these dedications. The one below, I chanted earlier, and that's what's meant to be described on the entry stone that's directly in front of us here. That's the applying loving kindness, the exalted among humankind, extinguish the fires of hatred. Applying wise discernment, they go on to penetrate the truths and extinguish the fires of delusion. This is the words of the Buddha, Buddha Vajana, from the Agi Sutta, that is the fires from Itivuttaka collection, old collection of the Buddha's teachings. So I invite you now to contemplate these teachings and put them into practice to radiate the spirit of harmony and loving kindness and wisdom, while I now invite the Venerable Bhikkhuni Sangha to consider our Kamawachacharinis will now propose to us the method. I'm going to set down the mic and we'll discuss together amongst ourselves for a short time. And then if the Bhikkhuni Sangha is in agreement, we'll be rising up and then walking around the Sima area, the outer Sima stones and then the inner Sima stones, and having the Sangha Kama led by our Kamawachacharinis. Now they propose to the Sangha. However, it's the agreement in silence by the gathered Sangha itself that is what is really the Sangha Kama. It is that agreement in silence, consensus, unified agreement of the gathered Sangha that has then the power in the Sangha to establish this as a place where Bhikkhuni Upasampada, full Bhikkhuni ordination can take place, or any other Sangha Kama acts of the Sangha can take place through that power of the Buddha's decision and inheritance given to us as Sangha. Those fully ordained as bhikkhus and as bhikkhunis have full rights and responsibilities in the Sangha. This is one of those full rights and responsibilities of the Blessed One's heirs, the Buddha's heirs. I'm going to put down the mic now. Please wish us well.
So it would be like an empty space which is not part of the Urdu. We're going to be saying if we are coming to be which is created as a movement. So there will be a signal defined by the 5 stones around this. And then the gravel walkway is like a moat. There's no similar. These are all more should not be missed or open. Not be submerged within another schema. There should be a buffer zone between the so the scriptures in the book are modified. After that,
So removal of the part of the ultimate Dhamma the manifestation so someone do we have to have like 24 hours chanting or have all the Sangha going to everywhere? Like this is a commentary on message and if you have to this message here is is from Tipitaka. Our message today is the Tipitaka message, not the Ataka. This Tipitaka Mula. Everyone here, your message, please come down. Your agreement will just be by silence. If you have any disagreement, your right, your responsibility as a leader is to say so. If you have a doubt or a dispute, and your obligation, your right, responsibility as a leader, don't have the doubt or disagreement, and all the becomes have had a doubt. They need to be with you because this supposed to moving you are probably a lot of people and so that's just to see your understanding. If we establish this, you are in all the time here and if you were together, that would actually be a factor because if you are in all work right now, if you still have to go to God in your world, you're over yeah. If I'm going to be safe, that's right. Yes, that's right. Exactly. Yes. Outside the outer ring. This is a question that was raised. So whether the Baddha Sima is favorable to faith. Yeah. I'll just say my own personal thought. I think they're not too much. That's my own opinion. Without any other behind. But my opinion is your determination of the Baddha is respect Baddha is not black, but according to you, Start, I think. Now our Venerable Bhikkhuni Sangha has had the review of the proposed Sangha Kama, acts of the Sangha, of the Venerable Bhikkhuni Sangha, and of the procedure, with the review led by our Venerable Bhikkhuni Sopanatari Acharini, who will be acting as the chief senior Kamawachacharini for this Sangha Kama of the Bhikkhuni Sangha, with Venerable Bhikkhuni Amawara as the junior assisting Kamawachacharini for the Sangha Kama. And I'd just like to mention once again, the Buddha's great emphasis, strong emphasis, even more than life itself. Blessing of the harmony in the Sangha. And that is the basis for the Sangha Act. It's not that the Kamawachacharinis don't do it. They propose to the Sangha. It's by the Sangha's silent consensus, harmonious agreement in silence together, one and all. Samaggi means one and all together. That is the power that establishes the Sangha Kama. And then the Kamawachacharinis, they just recite afterwards an affirmation, just stating, just making the announcement that the Sangha has agreed harmoniously together and that we should all uphold it and remember it in that way. So just to recollect, it's actually the resounding silence moments there that are that sign, in this case, of the harmony, the harmonious agreement of the Sangha with the power and the blessings that the Buddha passed down to us as his legitimate heirs in the Bhikkhu Sangha and Bhikkhuni Sangha. So for your mindfulness, and recollection, for your sati and sampajanya together. Now we'll invite the Venerable Bhikkhuni Sangha to have the proposed Sima Nimitta for the outer ring pointed out. And then we'll come have the opportunity for the first Sangha Kama. If that all goes well, then the Sima marker, Sima Nimitta for the inner ring will be pointed out. And then there will be the opportunity for the Sangha Kama. If that's accomplished, then the Abhala Sala Sima, the thorn removed, the barb removed, our Dhammadharini Baddha Sima will be established. Yes, she's saying Nimana, Nimon means inviting the Sangha. So we don't mind if this part is filmed from a distance, but please don't come close to the Sangha during this time. And also our mics will not be on during this time. You don't have to put mute on your device or your transmission, but we won't be having the mic on for this time. And please give the Sangha the space, and especially when we come to the inner Sima markers, please then don't come inside the moat, the buffer zone during that time. Just the Venerable Bhikkhuni Sangha in that space during that time. Thank you very much. the Venerable Bhikkhuni Sangha right now. Thank you. For right now. No, on either side is I used to be standing next to it. Very good. Thank you. Excellent. Okay. So it's now my honor and privilege to announce that the Dhammadharini Baddha Sima, which is named the Apula Sala Sima, the barb removed, the thorn removed, has been formally established by the Sangha of the Venerable Bhikkhuni Sangha here today at what time?
12 minutes after 4 o'clock.
At 12 minutes after 4 on the full moon of Potapada, that's the Bhadrapada, full moon Uposatha Day, the 2606th lunar anniversary of the founding of our Bhikkhuni Sangha of the Buddha, and the Buddha's intention, fourfold or manifold community of monastic and lay disciples, including the bhikkhunis. So whoever would like to join in the merits together, whether nearby here or far away, I'd like to welcome you to join in together. You can express your approval by joining in Anumodhana and then saying sadhu, sadhu, sadhu together. Anumodhana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Anumodami. And so now our Bhikkhuni Sangha's first plan upon establishment of the Sima is then, because it's the full moon and we have Bhikkhuni Sangha here, to have the Bhikkhuni Patimokkha Udesana, which means recitation of the Bhikkhuni Patimokkha with our international Bhikkhuni Sangha. So we'd now like to invite Venerable Bhikkhuni Sangha to take a moment for if there are refreshments possible, and then before the Bhikkhuni Patimokkha, all those who would like to undertake and affirm their 5 precepts, 8 precepts, or 10 seminary precepts will have the opportunity to do so before the Bhikkhuni Sangha begins to recite the Bhikkhuni Patimokkha. The Bhikkhuni Patimokkha will not be broadcast live online. However, anyone who wishes to stay and to listen and to watch the Venerable Bhikkhuni Sangha from outside the Sima reciting the Bhikkhuni Patimokkha is welcome to do so. We just ask that everyone be quiet and meditative and focus your minds on Sila and Samadhi and on Panya during that time, if you'll be sitting with us during the recitation of the Bhikkhuni Patimokkha. So now, if anyone wishes to offer refreshment, we'll have a few minutes and then invite everyone back for joining in the Uposatha, refuges, and precepts together, leading up to the Bhikkhuni Patimokkha Udesana.